Hello, everybody. Max with A1 Website Pro here, and today your DKIM nightmares will be over, along with your DMARC and your SPF records, and you'll be able to actually deliver an email from your domain to a Gmail, Yahoo, or whatever. And I'm just going to show you an example of this. I don't have any intros, but this is an overview of what you're going to learn. So right here, we'll send it to my Gmail, Maximus McCullough 29 at gmail.com, and we'll just say, hi, buddy. And then in the subject line, we'll say, how are you? And we'll just go ahead and click send. Okay, so that message has been sent, and you can see if I go right here, here it is. It's in my primary email box. It's actually even marked important. It says, hi, buddy, how are you? So it did not go to a spam folder. And then I'll just go ahead and respond, good and you, and I'll just click send. And then we'll come back to the round cube, and we'll just click refresh. And see if we get an email back here. And here's the email back. So we click on that. It's loading. Good and you. Okay. So there you go. And that all has to do with your DKIM. Now, I have another website set up. So this tutorial, I assume four things actually. Number one, you have a website set up with your hosting. If you don't, there's a link in the description. You can buy a domain name because for all intents and purposes, I'm showing you guys how to do this from my particular way of doing things, and so it'd be easier for you to follow along if you did that. Number two, you already have a SSL installed. This is also free with a Cloudflare account. Okay. Number three, you have access to DNS, so you can, access your records and enter records. If you don't know how to do that, I have another tutorial for you there. And number four, you've already pointed your domain to Cloudflare. So you bought the domain up here, and you entered your DNS records, and then right here you're pointing them to Cloudflare. Okay, so that's basically the rundown of this tutorial. Okay, the overview. The website tools we're going to be using, I'm having them all listed in the description of this video, and we're going to be covering your SPF record, your DMARC record, and your DKIM, and how to set them up. And there's some really crazy things about that DKIM record that possibly you never thought about before. Now, it doesn't matter what host you're using or what. If you're using cPanel, Webuzo, or whatever, I use ISPConfig. The process is going to be the same. You need to create a private key on your server, and you need to create a public key that we're going to be putting into the DNS. So let me show you a typical problem that happens. So for this website, trainingquestion.com, you'll see that I only have two things in here. I have two A records. All right. And once again, if you don't understand this, I have that tutorial where you could go understand DNS records. All right. Now, I want to, in my ISP config, this is like my control panel, I'm going to set up a new domain, and I'm going to just have maybe a client here, and it's going to be trainingquestion.com. And my spam filter, I'm going to put to normal. But now notice down here, my domain keys, DKIM, I got to enable that. And then my DKIM selector, I'm just going to type in key 1. All right, I'm going to scroll down here and hit generate keys. And you can see here that I have keys generated. Now this is my public one. I want to grab this one, copy it, and then I'm just going to click save. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up a notepad on my Windows machine here. Or you could do text edit on Mac or notepad on your Linux system. But I just put that all in right there. This is my public key. Okay, that's what we're going to be putting into the DNS. But there's something very, very important that you have to learn about this. Okay, and I'm going to cover that in a second, because all the video tutorials out there, they don't tell you what I'm about to tell you that's going to save you hours, perhaps days, months, or even years of headache. Okay, so I set up this domain training question on this particular server, but now I have to set up an email mailbox. So the email mailbox, I'm going to click add new mailbox, and I'm just going to put my name in here, Maximus, and it's going to be Max at, oh, let me see here. Oh, okay. Let me see, at max@trainingquestion.com. And then I'll just generate a password here. A very strong password. Just like so. I'll put 0 for unlimited. I don't care about the sending copy to or anything like that. I'm just going to put it on normal spam filter. I'm going to enable receiving on it. Okay, and I'm going to leave IMAP and all that stuff enabled, and I'm going to click save. And when this 2 disappears, it means that the mailbox is set up and ready to go. So if I click on my little round cube here, it's going to open this up. Now I got to log out of here, and we'll log into max@trainingquestion.com, and then I'll put in my password just like so. Now hit log in. Now I log in and everything. Look, welcome to your new email account. But notice what happens whenever I go to compose some mail and send it. So let me compose it, and we'll send it to Maximus McCullough 29@gmail.com, and we'll just say this kind of same thing. Hi there. How are you? And then we'll go ahead and click send. Okay, now look at this. Undelivered mail, return to sender. It didn't even get to my inbox here. In fact, it didn't even get to my spam box. You see, it never even arrived. Okay, so the problem with this is that we have no DNS record set up. All right, so what we'll do is we're going to go into the Cloudflare where we have this. We're going to set up our SPF records, and we're going to set up our DMARC records, and then finally our DKIM. Now, let me just go hit add record, and we want the text record. And you guys will be able to copy all of this at my site, okay? So if you click the link in the description that takes you to the website, it's going to be as easy as copy and paste for you, because that's the way we like to do things here, right? Okay, so in the name, we're going to use the @ symbol, okay? So that just takes everything to trainingquestion.com. The time to live, we're just going to leave that as auto. Now, for this particular SPF record, now Cloudflare does have an SPF setting, but we're just going to use text. Like if we click down here, I believe they have SPF, but we're just going to use the text because it works, okay? And then in the content, notice what I'm putting in here. Version equals SPF 1 all MX, and then I put the IP address and then tilde all. All right, and that's all you have to do to get your SPF set up. All right. So let's try it again. Let's go ahead and go to RoundCube, and let's just go ahead and try to compose another email, and we'll send it to Maximus McCullough 29@gmail.com again. Same thing. Hi there. How are you? ? And we're just going to go ahead and click send it. Okay, now notice something a little bit different here. We didn't get an undelivered return to sender straight back. If we go to the inbox, it actually came in. Hi there, how are you? So you might stop there and think, well, hey, we did all right. SPF works. And yes, it did. However, I have another program. It's called Thunderbird. and let me go ahead and bring this up here for you, because it checks the DKIM signatures whenever you are doing things, you know, sending and receiving email. And I have a little plug-in for it. If I go to inbox, you see Max at training question, he came through, but there's no DKIM invalid. Okay, and so what's going to happen is, you know, stuff like Yahoo, AOL, Hotmail, stuff like that, they're going to reject that, right? Now, Google is used to getting emails from this particular server, so it actually let it go through, but the DKIM it wasn't valid. All right, so what do you have to do? Well, let's set up a DMARC and see what that does. So the DMARC actually is added protection for your email. So let's go ahead and click Add Record. We're just, once again, we're going to go down here to Text. And here under Name, we're going to put _DMARC. Okay? And then in the value, I'm going to show you something. And you guys will be able to copy and paste all this, even if you don't know what it means. You just want it to work, right? Okay, now I took out all the spaces in this for you. Okay, spaces and quotation marks are your enemy whenever you're doing this stuff. Okay, sometimes the semicolons, sometimes you have to escape them, but you don't have to do that in Cloudflare, and you don't have to do it at the 81 Website Pro whenever you buy a domain off of me. Okay, the things that you'll want to change here, instead of max at training, this is so you can get forensic reports, this RUA and the RUF. I have them both set up because I just like to know if somebody's trying to use my emails for something. And I'll put training question in here, and then max at trainingquestion.com here. Okay. And then I'm just going to hit, okay, so the this policy rejects it if it doesn't match, okay? And this SP, if I have a subdomain on that server, it'll reject it as well. And I want to apply these rules to 100% of my emails, okay? And if anything happens, I want to hear about it. And send me an email, you know, if somebody else is trying to use our server to send spam emails. And let me go ahead and click Save. So we have the DMARC, all right? Now, if I go back to my round cube once again, let me hit Compose, and we'll send it to maximusmccullough29@gmail.com. What's up, buddy? Hey, man, you going out tonight? Okay. Click Send. Message sent successfully. Loading. Okay. Let's go here. Check our inbox. What's up, buddy? Hey, man, you going out tonight? So it came through, and it actually came through as important. So that's why, you know, it's important to have your DMARC set up and set up correctly. Now, let's go to the Thunderbird, and we see here this What's Up, buddy. DKIM is still invalid. So still at Yahoo and those other places, you know, it'll go directly to your spam. It'll, you know, if it even gets through at all. So anyway, let us go back to our ISPConfig, and I'm going to go to the domain section. This is just because I have to recopy the domain key for training question to make sure I have it. So this is the private key, right? You don't have to share that. You don't have to do anything with private key. It's already on the server. Now, if you're generating it outside your server, you might have to enter in it. But ISPConfig does it for you. So does cPanel. So does several other ones. Webuzo, so on and so forth. But I'm copying that. And the next thing I'm going to do, in fact, here I had it already. Now the next thing that I want to do is this key 1. All right, that's my selector. All right, that's going to be important. This period _ domain key blah blah blah, you know, we might take that whole thing, but I want you to go right before these quotes and go down and starting with the V clear to these quotes. Now, one more thing that we need to add into here, and let me see if I could find it for you here. Right after this TS, we're going to put in this little K tag. And this K tag tells you what kind of encryption it is, which is RSA. One thing you want to do is go through here and get rid of all these spaces, all these stupid spaces, because they are going to screw you up. The next thing you want to do, all these quotes, even if they're within this code, see here's 2 quotes here, right? You want to get rid of that. This one wants to be one long signature. So an easy way to do that notepad is highlight it and click Control F, and you could find all the quotes just to make sure there's none in there, because they are your enemy. They're going to screw you up. They're going to make your DKIM fail. And let me click Find Next, and we see we have these 2. We got to get rid of those. Find Next. We got to get rid of these 2. Right here, and get rid of this one on the end, okay, and then put a semicolon at the end there, okay, and let's see if we could find, nope, no more. Okay, we're done with finding quotes. Now the other thing that you want to make sure of is that there's no spaces, like a space, for example, like that. That's a no-no. You don't want to do that, okay? So you want to go through here and make sure this is one long line. Let me see if I click back. You see how it goes on the other side of that X there? Here, let me make this larger for you. All right. So here we are. We're looking at that. See, I'm at this line right here. See how it goes on the other side of that X? That lets you know that there is no space. Okay. And that's what we want. We want no spaces. Now we'll be able to take this whole thing and copy it in there. But I want to show you something first. Okay. Whenever we go to this email testing tool, all right, this is Mail Genius, and this is free. It doesn't give you 3 free ones, and then you have to sign up for something. You don't have to do that, but you could click Copy. It's copied to your clipboard. We go to Round Cube and hit Compose. Notice we're still at Max at Training Question, and then we're going to send these good people an email so they could tell us what the hell's wrong with our DNS entries. Hi there, tell me what's wrong. Okay, and then click Send. Now let's go back to our free email tester and let's see our score. Mail Genius is going to go there and evaluate it and see what we can do about it to make it better. Maybe give us some pointers and hints, and just let that do its thing. Doom da doom da doom da doom. Maybe I'll sing you a little song. Do 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 do. While it's done. Okay, maybe I won't. Oh, we got 96 out of 100. Okay, which is really good. All right, a lot. But notice what's failing. Our DKIM. It has errors. You gotta have a DKIM record. So let's grab our DKIM record. Copy. Let's go to our DNS Cloudflare, and we want to add another record. It's going to be a text record. All right. Now, I'm just going to paste this in here, but remember whenever I was telling you about the key, all right? Just go on this key 1, copy, highlight all from key 1, domain key, blah, blah, blah. Copy it all, and that's going to be the name. All right, the name, just like on the Good, Bad, and Ugly, right? All right, so there we go. Now let's go to our free email tester tool, and let's try this again. All right, let's click copy that. We'll go to Round Cube, click Compose. Let's send them an email. Hey man, what's going on? All right, click Send. And let's go back to our free email test tool and let's see our score. and let Male Genius do its thing. I'll sing you a couple of sweet love songs. Takes 15 to 30 seconds to do. And yeah, you could probably fast forward this video if you want to, if you don't want to hear me sing. Do 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 do. And I will have, you know, our chapters down in the description so you can skip all the spaces, I guess. But why when I'm so entertaining? Okay, we've got 99, and look at this, our DKIM pass, SPF, DMARC, domain sub. Look at all that. Isn't that great? The only thing that didn't pass was this list unsubscriber header. And since we're not sending out newsletters, there's no sense in having an unsubscribed letter. That'll be a different tutorial whenever you guys want to send like millions of people emails because you set up your own email server, okay? And you want to be able to get through to them. So there you go. Now let me show you a couple other things too, because I think that this is important. There's DKIM testers out there, and I'm going to show you a few of them. Like I said at the outset of the video, if you go here and you to MXTOOLBOX DKIM, now this is a cool little thing. So we'll type in trainingquestion.com, and remember that selector, that key 1, that's what you want to put in here. Okay, and I click DKIM lookup. And look at that. Wow, we got all green there. And you might be having like hell of an issue, but a lot of people do. But you got to remember to take out those spaces and those quotes in there, okay? The other thing you want to check, you could check your SPF records let me just put this in right here. And we'll put in trainingquestion.com. Once again, click SPF record lookup. And look at that, all nice and green. Doesn't that just make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside? It sure does me. Anyway, one more thing to check. Let's check that DMARC record. Okay, let's go ahead and paste that in there. And once again, trainingquestion.com. DMARC lookup, and ooh, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? But here you can see, these are my entries. Makes emails go through. All right, no headaches, no BS. Get your domain at a1websitepro.com, direct it to Cloudflare, and enter the name of servers. I'll put the tutorial in the description, and your headaches and nightmares will be over. I guarantee it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, put them below in the comments. I always return comments and everything like that. So anyway, I will see you guys in the next video tutorial. Peace. Peace out.